She's not your typical candidate. Conservative Joni Ernst, mom, farm girl, and a lieutenant colonel who carries more than just lipstick in her purse. Joni Ernst will take aim at wasteful spending, and once she sets her sights on Obamacare, Joni's gonna unload. Oh, and one more thing. Joni doesn't miss much.
Give me a shot. I'm Joni Ernst, and I approve this message.
Ernst would vote for a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage. Ernst has spoken out against amnesty of any form and immigration reform. Ernst said that the federal government shouldn't set a minimum wage. And Ernst called the Clean Water Act one of the most damaging laws for business. Ernst embraces privatizing Social Security. She's going right from the Koch playbook. Ernst wants to abolish the Department of Education and the Environmental Protection Agency. Industry's going to love that. The self-proclaimed farm girl said that she would have voted against the farm bill. Joni Ernst isn't just another Republican. Joni Ernst is an extremist.
She is so far outside of mainstream American thought. You were right to say that she supports a federal constitutional ban on marriage equality, yet she also thinks that the state should be able to decide, which doesn't really make sense. That's like saying you support the troops, but think a POW should be left to die in Afghanistan.
When you look at the issues page on Joni Ernst's side, it's a laugh. She's anywhere from a decade to 2 decades behind. And her messages about repealing Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, Americans are tired of this pandering. They're tired of obstruction. They're tired of Republicans with no solutions. You know, John's right that our side, we have to come out and vote. But she's not offering anything new or maverick or independent to those Iowa independent voters. She's offering more of the same. She's leaving Iowan families behind. She's leaving Iowan farmers behind so she can sit around and talk about guns and Obamacare. It's old news.
And she wants to dismantle the EPA and thinks that pollution laws should be voluntary. I mean, it makes no sense. And not to disparage her service in Iraq, but she's another one who's saying that Saddam had WMDs and shipped them out of the country before we invaded, I guess because his overall plot was to get killed. You know, again, I enjoy all of her imagery about castration, but pigs. But at the end of the day, this very nice lady is all squeal, no bacon.
What's the appeal here?
There is no appeal. You're seeing the same old, same old. You know, Joni wants to be the first Iowan congresswoman to be elected when all she's doing is marching around in the same old, tired, white male conservative policies that the GOP has to offer. They did their 2012 autopsy. They've done their 2013 autopsy as a party. They can't get it right. They can't appeal to minorities and women. If she cares so much about children, she talks about protecting the life of unborn. What about the 16% of Iowan children who live in poverty and half of those children who live with working poor parents? What is she going to do about those kids? She doesn't care about children who are born, who are individuals, who have birth certificates, who are out in this world. It's all pandering. She's not going to speak to Iowan women. This whole pistol in the purse thing, I guess she wants to join her conservative sister in Kentucky, you know, Leslie Combs, whose gun went off in the Capitol Annex office. This isn't something, this braggadoring and this John Wayne stuff does not impress female voters. We want to hear about jobs. We want to hear about equal pay. We want to hear about our children's education. We don't want to hear about you abolishing public education, one of the greatest equalizers for our children. It's old news.
And if I may, most women in America do support expanded background checks. She called the shootings in Santa Barbara accidental, Ed, like Dan Marino suing the NFL.
That's right, an unfortunate accident.
Well, Iowa has sent a few extremists to Washington. One of them is Steve King over on the House side.